What's up, everyone? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, The Hot Commodity Ant C, and today we're saying goodbye to 2025 and hello to the Attitude Years, jumping into my self-created time machine as we travel back to the year 2001, covering all things WWE. And our stop is at WWF Raw Is War from March 26, 2001, live in Cleveland, Ohio. This is the last Raw before WrestleMania 17. And this is a pretty historic Raw's War as Vince McMahon opens the show. He's got WCW Monday Nitro playing on one TV monitor and Raw on the second monitor. And he opens the show by saying that he now owns WCW and will explain what will happen to the company later on tonight. He says there will be one man in control by the end of the night. And he goes on to make fun of Jeff Jarrett. And he's like, "You're Gone, gone," like making fun of Jeff Jarrett the way he does his name. This is crazy. I remember being a kid being like, "Oh crap, this is Vince McMahon now owns his competition," and I'm surprised looking back at it now the way he was so like just cocky about it and constantly talking about it. So this is a huge moment in pro wrestling history here. But to start off, aside from Vince, Kurt Angle comes out and he says, "All of you fans are giddy in anticipation over the big news. There's less than 1 week until WrestleMania. I don't have a match. It's an absolute disgrace. Although I don't have an opponent at WrestleMania, I am the best wrestler in the business. I have to keep protesting until someone finds me an opponent." That's when the rabid Wolverine, Chris Benoit, comes out. And Benoit says, "I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. The good news is I don't have an opponent at WrestleMania just like you. And the bad news is we both don't have opponents for WrestleMania." He says, "I had to listen to you complain and moan. Your voice annoys me. You claim to be the best wrestler in the WWF. I will make you tap like the bitch you are. It's true." Angle then goes on to say, "How dare you? I'm tired of carrying you. I accept your challenge for WrestleMania, and there's no way in hell I tap to that stupid crossface thing. I could make you squeal in seconds, pal. Prove me wrong." And that's when Benoit and Angle brawl. Benoit applies the crossface to Angle. Angle taps out. Edge and Christian attack Benoit. Benoit leaves, but the commentators are putting over the fact that Angle has never tapped out before, and he tapped out here to Chris Benoit. The match is made for WrestleMania. We're going to see who really is the best wrestler in WWE here. We see Vince and Trish backstage, and he tells Triple H on the phone that, enjoy your vacation, you deserve the time off, and we're speculating that Triple H is not in the building. Next, we have a lumberjack match, Val Venis versus Tazz. The APA and Jacqueline are one set of lumberjacks. The Right to Censor are the other sets. Clearly, Tazz applies the Tazz mission to Val. Right to Censor and the APA fight on the floor. Val misses the money shot. Tazz applies the Northern Suplex Bridge, and he defeats Val Venis here. We're going to see a six-man tag at WrestleMania between Tazz and the APA against the Right to Censor. This match is just a way to get everybody out there. Very quick match, though. We then have Commissioner Regal coming out to the ring, and he says, "Being your commissioner, I have a very important thing to tell you. I will not rest until I become Intercontinental Champion. Tonight for my warm-up, I'm fighting a tough person. I want to fight a Holly." And then WWF Light Heavyweight Champion Crash Holly comes out with Molly, and it looks like it's going to be Crash versus Regal, but Regal attacks Crash and then grabs Molly, applies the Regal stretch to Molly and Crash, but then Doink the Clown appears, attacks William Regal, applies the walls of Jericho to Regal, and then the Clown takes off his mask and it's revealed to be Chris Jericho, the Intercontinental Champion, getting one up on the Commissioner again. Regal has been an asshole, but Jericho has always been one step ahead, peeing in his teacup, fucking now, making him tap out again. Jericho has been fucking with the Commissioner for a long time. Speaking for fucking for a long time, Vince McMahon comes out and he has Lillian Garcia announce him as the owner of the World Wrestling Federation. And he gives a really big, long promo here. He talks about, for the first time ever, this broadcast is being simulcast between TNN and TNT. Only one man can make history like that. I have acquired WCW. I bought my competition. Time Warner can't sell the property. They're begging me to buy it. And I will sign the contract at WrestleMania when Ted Turner walks down and delivers that contract to me. People ask me how I did it. I did it all on my own. When Ted Turner begs me to sign, I'll reserve a seat for him to watch what I do to my own son, Shane McMahon. You got to grab the competition by the throat and squeeze the life out of it. And that's what I'm going to do to Shane. My charming daughter, Stephanie, my companion, Trish, and Linda will all be in my corner at WrestleMania. And then he goes, what should I do with WCW? There's an old expression, he who laughs last, laughs the best. WCW is buried and it's going nowhere. And then Shane McMahon appears live on the Titantron in Panama Beach, Florida at WCW Monday Nitro. And he goes, what's up, Vince? Surprise, Dad. I'm here in Panama Beach, standing in a WCW ring. Your ego's gotten the best of you. You want to finalize this deal at WrestleMania. The contract does say McMahon. However, the contract says Shane McMahon. Yes, Dad, I now own WCW. And just like WCW kicked your ass in the past, that's exactly what's going to happen to you at WrestleMania. This is a huge moment. I remember seeing this as a kid, being like, oh shit, Shane owns WCW. What is Shane going to do with the company? We know Shane and Vince are going to fight at WrestleMania. Then the thought of Ted Turner possibly showing up at a WWF show. But as a 7-8-year-old kid, I was really enjoying this here. Love that Shane came out and shook the foundation of WCW here. Next week at a 6-man tag match, Chris Benoit and the Hardy Boys with Lita taking on Kurt Angle, Edge, and Christian. During the match, Benoit applies the crossface to Kurt Angle and Christian. Christian taps out to the crossface, so Benoit and the Hardys win. After Benoit dives onto Kurt Angle on the floor, and then Rhino gores both Matt Hardy and Lita. And Rhino has been a good sidekick here for Edge and Christian. He's been ending everybody with that gore, and I'm excited for TLC 2 and Benoit and Angle at WrestleMania. Next, we have WWF European Champion Tazz taking on X-Pac with X-Factor in his corner. This is a non-title match. Special guest referee Eddie Guerrero will be officiating in this contest. During the match, Eddie Guerrero, X-Pac low blows Tazz. Albert lands an Albert bomb, and Eddie Guerrero counts to 3. After the match, Eddie attacks Tazz, so Eddie Guerrero helps X-Pac get the win, and we're going to see Guerrero and Tazz at WrestleMania, but not a lot of crazy stuff here between these two. Next, Mick Foley comes out, and we haven't seen Mick since December 2000, and he says, it's nice that you remember who I am. You're probably wondering why I'm here. Maybe I'm here to promote my new book, Foley is Good, but actually I needed a vacation, so I came to Cleveland. I'm here because WrestleMania wouldn't be WrestleMania without Mick Foley involved. I took it upon myself to get involved in WrestleMania. That's when Vince McMahon comes out. Vince says, I'm in no mood for this. I fired you before. You're trespassing on my property. Mick says, I can't be a part of WrestleMania. I hate to disagree, but I think I can. Remember in June 2000, you abdicated your throne. I became the WWF commissioner. You came back, and 3 weeks later, you fired me right before Christmas. And then Mick shows footage of him signing documents from December 2000 with Linda McMahon, and he says these documents are legal. At WrestleMania, I can be a guest referee for any match of my choosing, and guess which match I'm picking? Shane versus Vince. So now the odds are stacked against Vince. He's fucked with Mick Foley, fired him right before Christmas, and now Mick Foley can officiate this match. Vince is definitely not having a good night here on Raw. Next, we have the Big Show taking on WWF Intercontinental Champion Chris Jericho. During the match, Kane comes out and attacks Big Show on the floor. Then WWF Hardcore Champion Raven attacks Kane with a trash can lid. That distraction allows William Regal to hit the Regal Slam, to Jericho. Big Show choke slams Y2J. Big Show gets the win. After the match, Kane hits both Big Show with a steel chair, and then he choke slams Raven, and we're going to see Raven, Big Show, and Kane in a triple threat match at WrestleMania. And finally, we've made to our main event, Kane and The Undertaker, the Brothers of Destruction, teaming up against Stone Cold Steve Austin and the WWF Champion, The Rock. During the match, the Game Triple H appears from out of nowhere, nails The Undertaker with a steel chair shot. That allows Austin to get the pin on The Undertaker, so that gives Austin and The Rock the victory. After Rock gives Stone Cold Steve Austin a Stone Cold Stunner, grabs a beer, puts the beer right down next to Austin's head, pretty much salutes the Rattlesnake. Austin is going to be pissed. Rock has laid out the Rattlesnake with his own finishing maneuver. And this has been a historic Raw. I know a lot of people go back to this because this is the moment where Vince announces that he owns WCW. But great action throughout. I'm so excited for WrestleMania 17. We've got one more SmackDown, then we've got the pay per view. So to find out what happens, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. And until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.